I'm Barry Funkhauser, and this is the Barry Funkhauser Show. Happy Hump Day. Here's what's going on. Well, spring is here, but tree trimming season is still a ways away. The strawberry industry is holding steady despite a statewide damage to farm fields. And there's a bill that would let Oregonians pump their own gas, and it's passed. Now it's got to go to the next step. As always, I'm here with my co-host and general know-it-all current events guy, Joe. Hey, Joe. How's it going?
Hey, Barry. Did you get any outside activity in our 2-hour break that we had from the rain this morning?
Yeah, I went outside. That was about it.
I went outside. How are your strawberries doing?
Strawberries are looking great, man. Everything's starting to bloom and flower. There's so many flowers on that strawberry plant. As long as we don't get flooded here, we'll be fine. The tomatoes that I got are looking really good. They've been potted, and there's one I grew a couple of weeks ago that has suckers on it. And this year I'm trying to, you can turn a tomato sucker into a whole new plant.
Oh, I didn't know that. How do you do that?
Just cut it off, stick it in the dirt. It's that easy.
Oh, that's pretty easy.
So I did that.
Well, I'm glad I have you, because all the flooding is going to make our strawberries and our tomatoes super expensive, but I can get them from Funkhauser Farms for free. Not everybody, just me.
Cannot wait.
Don't be jumping on that bandwagon, people. Don't be taking my strawberries from me. This is mine.
I don't know, man. I just learned how to sell stuff on Nextdoor, so look out. I might go crazy.
Nice. Well, I was able to get my run in. I was listening to some CCR today because my buddy told me I should watch the documentary. Says it's very interesting about John Fogerty and all the other band members and stuff.
I haven't seen that. I watched 30% of the Get Back documentary, and that was good. But it kind of
James Brown?
What?
Wait, what's the Get Back documentary? Is that James Brown?
No, it's the Beatles 9-hour thing that they...
Oh, yeah, no thanks.
It was all right for a while.
Man, 9 hours of the Beatles would just be boring to me. I mean, I like the Beatles music, some of it, but like everyone has put the Beatles as this end-all be-all of rock and roll, and I'm like, they were a boy band. I mean, at the end of the day, they were basically a boy band. And, they evolved and they became musically much more adventurous, I guess is a good term for it. But yeah, I don't know. I can't get into the Beatles that much. Give me a documentary on Led Zeppelin though. Man, that was a crazy 10 years they had. I want to see that.
That was only 10 years?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, okay, technically I think it was 13. I think they were together, but their recording history, I think, went from, it was like 12 years. It was like 68 to 80. And then remember, John Bonham had been fighting alcoholism his entire life. And at the end of his career, he was really, really bad. Like to the point where, they weren't finished. They were playing like 2 songs of a show and had to cancel because John Bonham couldn't stay seated on his drum stool. So yeah, some of that stuff was bad. But yeah, they a crazy life. I mean, they had their own airplane that was designed for them.
Oh, yeah,
other people use that same plane, like the Allman Brothers used the same plane and stuff like that. But when they had it, it was like they had this converted, I think it was a 747. It was painted gold, had Led Zeppelin on the side. It just looked awesome. It's called Starship. Anyway, I'd see that. That sounds awesome. But yeah, I've got my running, got some classic rock in. It was good.
There's a few documentaries that are good when you're talking about classic rockers. I don't know. Did you see the one about the studio? It's the one called Sound City. Did you see that?
No. What was that about?
It's so cool. So there's a studio in Van Nuys, and it's right there by the Budweiser plant. And everybody's performed there. You and your mother, Nirvana, Peppers, Fleetwood Mac, Neil Young, goes way, way back.
Really? Wait, this was they recorded here?
They recorded there, and that's kind of where Fleetwood Mac got together at Sound City, because Mick Fleetwood was on his own, and Lindsey Buckingham was in
So wait, and Nirvana recorded Nevermind there?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
What? That's nuts. I'm gonna have to check this out.
You're
that
gonna
sounds
have
really
to see
awesome.
that one. It's called Sound.
Is it still around? Wait, is Sound City still around? How have I never heard of Sound City?
I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and well, you'll see what happened. It's kind of an interesting part 2 of the story that you find out in the latter part of the documentary, but it's good. It's very good. I recommend watching that today.
Oh, it's only an hour and a half. Okay, that's doable.
And it's mostly Dave Grohl.
Oh, hey, that's cool too. I like that.
Good times. All right, let's get into the news today. Well, spring is here, but tree trimming season is still a ways away. Listen.
Spring has sprung even though it's still winter here in California, and with all the rain, gardens are exploding, but so is Mother Nature. And homeowner here in Solana Beach, Deb Berg, says make sure you look in your garden before you do any tree trimming. You might be cutting out someone else's home.
The hummingbirds actually love this plant.
Deb Berg is a citizen naturalist and has set up her garden as a sanctuary for nature.
The word I'm trying to get out is that right now it is nesting season.
And one should think twice before trimming trees, bushes, and palms. Having already had a hummingbird nest in her yard this year and plenty in the past, she's on a mission to help our feathered friends.
February is the month that I personally see hummingbirds in my garden. I watch them from egg to fledgling, and if they make it past the crows and nature, I want to give them a fighting chance.
Generally speaking, when it comes to pruning trees and hedges, they fare best when they're dormant in the winter. By trimming in the spring, you put them at risk of disease and pest. Also, think twice about palms.
Palm fronds that are dead are actually a great nesting spot for orioles. And so even those, well, people might say I need to get rid of those right now. I wouldn't.
All of nature's wonders have found a home and a place to raise their young in her garden. From monarch butterflies, multiple hummingbird nests, to doves out her back door. She says with all the pressure put on nature by the modern world, if you're going to do some trimming in your yard, take a moment to look around.
Go out there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Enjoy nature and look and observe. And then look to see, do you see a bird circling around? I mean, it's so easy to just look before you cut. It's that easy.
So what she's hoping for is you look around your home in your trees and bushes for friends of flight that may have set up home.
Exactly. Look for someone else's home. Look for the bird's home.
So all it takes is just a quick look around the garden to make sure there's no nests. And really, now is not the time to trim anyway, so if you can wait a couple months, you'll be helping Mother Nature. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Hey, sending it back to us in the studio.
Yeah, that was very nice of him.
You know, I started trimming a couple days ago because there's a couple of...
Barry, but she just said don't trim right now.
Yeah, I stopped doing it because I had that thought in my mind that, there might be little finches in here.
Mm-hmm.
But so, yeah, I didn't know that about tree trimming. I really thought now would be the good time to do it, but it looks like in the middle of winter is when you're supposed to cut back. Interesting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Middle of winter. I don't know. I have always thought it was weird that, because when we were kids, the city always came out like mid-spring,
just mowed it,
late spring, and just like they just ripped out trees, like they just destroyed some stuff. And I'm like, why are you doing this after all this stuff has grown and you have way more waste and foliage? Like, do it in the winter when the branches are clean and then it's easier. Like, I don't know. I never understood. So, yeah, if we could do that. Because I do the same thing here. I have all the birds out on my balcony with the bird feeder. And, we got the pigeons and the sparrows and the finches and the hummingbirds. Oh, the hummingbirds are the best. But now they're... some sparrows have started making nests in our courtyard out here. So that's really cool. I like that.
See, I like it too, but I'm just bummed and upset that there's not more places for wild animals in Southern California, Los Angeles proper, to nest. So that's why you find them at the oddest locations. It's like they're just barely trying to survive there.
I know.
It's always bothered me.
I hope that we are getting better. I know that we are working toward getting the land bridges over the freeways, so larger animals, cougars in particular, can extend their range and they won't get hit trying to cross the freeway and stuff like that. I think we just need to understand and be more conscious about the environment and that we are part of it. Like, we need to more completely kind of merge with the environment instead of trying to like take it over.
You know, Joe, forgive my
What, Barry? What?
Forgive my naivete, but isn't this something that, I don't know, somebody like Smokey the Bear can also start to preach about? You know, not only forest fire, not only you can stop forest fires, but you can stop trimming trees in the wrong season. Wouldn't you?
I think it would take a very big like
Smokey the
public
Bear
policy push and just a general, I don't know, advertising, marketing, publicity kind of push to do that with, and I think it has to be local. You know, I think it has to be people like that local people would recognize. So like in LA, have like LA stars or whatever, or LA personalities, things like that.
Smokey more work.
Yeah, you know, Smokey's got a lot of work already, and he's one bear. I mean, come on.
And that's a lot more.
He wants to take a vacation every now and then and go to Yosemite too.
Not for Smoke. He's a government employee. He's too many vacations.
Hey, government employees get the most vacation out of everybody. Right. What are you talking about?
We need to stop that. But it's too many lines for him to learn. You know, can you imagine? Only you can stop trimming trees in the off season. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It doesn't roll off the tongue. I am all for rewilding things. Yeah. I just like it. I like green. I like nature. It makes people happier too, if, you know, animals and things are around. So let's just do it. Let's go for it.
I'm agree. All right, more news tonight. The strawberry industry is holding steady despite statewide damage to farm fields. Listen to this.
This year's storms have damaged homes, businesses, and highways, but another impact has been felt throughout California's agricultural fields. Growers tell me the storms have sunken their crops in mud, damaged equipment, and even blocked some roadways leading up to farm fields. But officials with the California Strawberry Commission tell me you, the consumer, will likely not feel its impacts.
Strawberries are available, that the industry is very much viable, and that right now consumers and retailers shouldn't see any impact because of the storm.
Still, Jeff Cardinale, a spokesperson for the California Strawberry Commission, tells me a storm-induced levee break on the Pajaro River near Watsonville flooded roughly 1/5 of the strawberry fields in the area.
20% of the farms in the Pajaro River and Salinas River area were affected in the flooding and rain events. But that means that about 80% were not affected.
This week's rainfall also came down hard on farm fields throughout the Central Coast, but Cardinale tells me storm damage prevention measures helped limit its impacts.
In this last rain event in Santa Maria, that was actually the case with a lot of the growers, is having the drainage systems in place that naturally removed any of the water that was there out of the rows and out of harm's way of the strawberry plant.
But not all local growers were immune.
Our planting schedules are way out of whack, and because of the cold weather and all the rain, the plants that are in the ground aren't growing as quickly as we'd like. So we're way late on our harvest, but that's farming.
Bob Campbell of the Campbell Ranch in Lompoc says despite the setbacks, he's still expecting a healthy harvest this picking season. Meanwhile, with the Strawberry Festival in Santa Maria a few weeks away, Cardinale says he anticipates the same.
We expect there to be plenty of strawberries available, for it to be a good event. The commission is a sponsor of the event, so it has our full support, and we expect the industry to really shine.
Cardinale says those impacted by flooding are still working to assess the extent of their damages, but will get a better idea of their necessary repairs once those floodwaters have receded. In Santa Maria, Jacob Dizon, KSBY News.
Yeah, man, up there they got bashed over the head by Mother Nature with water, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, like we think we have it bad here. Central Coast, which doesn't start at Santa Barbara. The Central Coast starts at
Never.
Vandenberg. I'm gonna hammer on that every single time it comes up. Yeah, the Central Coast of California has been getting hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, man, Coling A must really be flooded. It's Coling A.
Kalinga?
Colinga?
Kalinga.
It's Colinga.
Koalingawala. You know,
Yeah, anyway.
Watsonville is where all the strawberries are. And
Watsonville.
Yeah, Watsonville.
That's where all the strawberries are. I thought all the strawberries were in Oxnard.
Are not well.
I mean, they have a huge strawberry festival in Oxnard. Isn't that where all the strawberries?
That's true, but when you go and buy strawberries, they always say they're from Watsonville and Santa Maria and whatnot. So,
you're talking the Watsonville, like Bay Area, like Monterey Bay, Watsonville.
Yeah,
right,
further north. Yeah,
by the Salinas.
Well, that's more inland, but yeah, that general area. If you go up there, it's just all strawberry fields forever, and it's a little lower.
Strawberry fields forever.
It's lower than the roads, so you're looking down.
Yeah, I see, because it's like the delta right there coming in. Oh, I see all the. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at all of these farms. Wow, there's farmland all the way to the sea. Yikes. Yeah, Watsonville produce. I see all these farms right here. Oh, and it's like right across the hill from Gilroy, our favorite place. Gilroy is where my family had a winery.
Oh, yeah, that's what they grow up,
right?
Grapes
and grapes and garlic.
Yeah. So
interesting. Well, that's sad. So you're saying that all of Watsonville is now flooded?
Right
Everybody
now,
died. All of the plants are dead. Everything's gone. It's just a wasteland up there.
Coalinga now.
Lake Coalinga.
No, the farmer said, it's fine. Just plants are growing a little bit slower to grow, but that's farming. He goes, that's farming.
Oh man, I can't get that. I don't know that slow mentality of life. I've never experienced it. I don't know if I can turn around these days.
It was hard for me, I'll tell you. That's a whole story that when I started beekeeping, I was just like anxious for months when I started, because it was just like, why aren't we doing anything? Why is this happening so slowly? What's happening here? I'm watching the seconds go by so slow up here. I don't get it.
It's nuts.
I
don't know. I guess I'm just a city boy at heart, I guess. Well, hopefully, I don't understand how this isn't going to impact strawberry prices. If everything was like basically destroyed.
Oh, it will. That's what they're getting.
Yeah, again, like I'm like, how is this not going to impact? Are we getting all of our strawberries from like Peru now or something?
Have you seen strawberries in the store lately, Joe? They're not quite all the way red.
Oh.
They're a little less. They picked them before they were done, so they're a little bit behind on the ripeness. I would think maybe it's a different kind that isn't all the way red. But every strawberry I've seen lately looks like, hey, these aren't done yet. You should have left them in.
Oh, I wonder. Do you think that they picked them knowing that all these atmospheric rivers were coming, and so they wanted to like just try to get all the crop that they could?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I think so. I think there's something to do with, well, it's now or never. So it better be now. Let's do it.
Interesting. Oh, well. Okay. Well, hopefully they fix I do like some strawberries in the summer. So hoping that they're around still. I might have to grow my own. I might have to just can I buy a 5-foot plot of land in your backyard and grow my own?
I got them growing, man. I'll kick you down.
Oh, okay. I'll just kick down to you then.
Whatever the chickens don't eat.
Oh, great. I'm fighting for strawberries with some chickens. Great.
All right, more news tonight. Well, the bill that would let Oregonians pump their own gas passes the state house. The vote passed 47-10 and now heads to the Oregon Senate. And if it passes there, it would go to the governor to sign it into law. The bill wouldn't mean a complete change over to self-service in Oregon, but it would institute some of both methods at gas stations. Listen.
Bill that would allow Oregonians statewide to legally pump their own gas moves forward. The House approved House Bill 2426 by a 47-10 vote. Oregon and New Jersey are the only two states, by the way, that ban drivers from pumping their own gas. Advocates of keeping the ban in place have argued that it helps provide jobs. Some gas station owners argue, though, that they don't have enough staff to keep providing gas services to customers. The bill heads to the Senate for a first reading tomorrow.
Now, Joe, I lived in Oregon for almost a year. And I remember how odd it was, because sometimes guys like you and me were in radio, so we have odd hours, Yep. So at 4:15 in the morning, you're heading to work, you got to get gas. You can't pump it yourself. You got to wrangle the guy, and the guy comes out, ding, ding. It's still like 1950 up there, and they roll out and pump your gas. They don't let you do it. Such a weird, strange experience that I had there, and
they're not typically nice about it. They're like the kind of people who are like really mad that they have this job and that they have to do this job. And every time they come out, like I've got my gas pumped a couple times in Oregon, and those both times, like the people were like the most miserable people on the planet. Like, why do I have to do this do this job for this person? I don't understand.
and I had a panic attack too, because you're supposed to tip them. I don't know. Are you supposed to tip the gas pump person?
I didn't tip the gas attendant, no.
I don't know.
So it's a weird thing. It just I mean, I know that they did it because they were trying to, help people get jobs and things like that, but it doesn't make any kind of sense these days. It just raises the gas prices, right? Don't you think that like the station would just like turn around and make the gas like 5 cents more every gallon so they could make sure to be able to pay that person that has to pump the gas?
I just think it's funny how years and decades have gone by and Oregon's like, nope, we're going to keep it locked. It's not tea.
I know, like New Jersey, the same thing. Like, nope, we're not like, no. Just let people... Pumping gas is really easy these days. I think back in the day when the law was first made, 40s and the 50s, like, I get pumping gas was not as easy. It was, a little bit more dangerous. It didn't come out as smoothly or something. I don't know.
About job creation, though, Joe, it's like you can probably be a criminal, have a criminal record, and pump gas. So maybe that's why
having a criminal record doesn't mean that you don't have skills. It just means that you use your skills in a way that was unlawful.
It's just easier to get a gig.
Well, I mean, sure. Yeah. I don't know. I always thought it was a really weird law, and it makes things slower. This is the slower thing again. If I can pump my own gas, I could do it way faster than waiting on someone to do it for me. And I think that's like a lot of my life. I would rather just do it myself than wait for someone to do it for me. Because it takes too long, and I don't have patience, and I don't like to wait. So
yeah, I'm with you on that, man.
So I think this bill's going to pass.
Probably. I mean,
especially if it makes gas cheaper in Oregon, I think it'll totally pass.
Oh man, yeah, everybody's going to jump on that.
I know, right? It's 10 cents cheaper. Everyone's going to go crazy. It's going to be great.
All right. Well, sorry, gas pumpers, you're out of luck. And we'll be back tomorrow for another show. This is the Barry Funkhauser Show.